Hello. Hi, Abby. You're on mute.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. It's good to see you. I'm not in the classroom. I'm in my apartment. A little weird, huh? Yeah. Abby, can you show your mom how to change her name? Do you know how to do that? On Zoom, can you show her how to do it and you can type in her name? Oh my gosh, Abby, you're a superstar. Thank you for your help. Did you guys have a good night?
Yeah.
Good. Anything delicious for dinner?
I don't know. Today we didn't cook. We just bought chicken.
Nice. I like chicken. I also bought a hamburger. I was feeling a little lazy. I didn't want to cook.
The weather will do it.
Yeah. I hope more people come. If not,
Sorry.
hello. No, don't worry about it. I was just saying, I'm going to give another few minutes. Hopefully more people come. No worries if they don't. We can have a small little meeting. Abby, I love that you're here. You don't have to be here if you don't want to. It might not be very interesting. I'm so glad you guys came. I was like, oh, I'm going to be sad if no one comes. Just out of curiosity, is this a good time? I should probably send out a survey to parents because this is something that I would like to do. Hi, in the background. You're gonna need Violet to show you how to turn that off. Yeah, is this a good time or just out of curiosity, is there a better time? I figured like in the evening would be better for parents to meet.
It's okay with
This
me.
is good. Give everybody time to work down.
Awesome. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes just to make sure we have everyone that wants to come. People might come halfway through. That's okay. Hey, Violet. How's your hand doing?
Good.
Good.
Did
Okay.
you tell her? I did. Oh, okay.
Hey, Miss Krista. Beautiful drawing. I love it. Okay. So I will go ahead and start, just because I don't want to keep you. And if more people come, hopefully they come and we'll catch them up. Quick meeting. I really wanted to do this with parents, and unfortunately, things have just been so crazy this year that I haven't had a chance to do it before now. I would like it to become more of a regular thing. I know newsletters are starting. I'm starting to send out newsletters, which will give you kind of hopefully a better picture of what your students are learning. But I think that nothing can really take the place of face-to-face communication. And unfortunately, this year is lacking that. So all that to say, I would like to do this kind of once a month is my goal going forward. Just for us to have like a forum of parents and me letting you know what's going well, what we're still working on, what we're learning, etc. And also hopefully a good opportunity for you all to talk to each other, and to see maybe you have tips. Oh, we have a few more people joining. That makes me happy. Hi, welcome. So I was just saying hello. I am so glad you guys joined. This is something that I would like to do going forward regularly. I know newsletters will kind of give you a little bit of a picture of what's going on in our classroom, but I think us being able to talk face to face on the computer is better than nothing. So I'm just hopefully not going to take too much of your time this evening. Really just want to talk about some things that I feel like are going really well, some things that we're still working on, which is totally fine. Some tips that I have for online learning, and then kind of curriculum stuff. Really quick for all of those things. So a few things that I feel like are going well. Your students are incredible. And I'm talking about you guys all here and your students, and also those parents that will be watching these recordings or this recording, and those that will not. All of the students are awesome. They're sweet and kind and funny and loving, and I feel like I just was blessed with a really wonderful class. So that's like the best thing. Most days, most Zooms, I'm getting between 90 and 95, sometimes 100% attendance each day, twice a day, which is incredible. Online learning is not easy. And so I really applaud you for getting your students on Zoom, and for themselves being on the ball and getting on Zoom every day, twice a day, which is awesome. Most days, people are turning in asynchronous work. All of the people that are on this Zoom are turning in asynchronous work every day, which is awesome. I would definitely encourage you to keep doing that, so I can see their work, and it's good for them to do work every day, outside of just being on Zoom and like answering my questions. And also, something really great is that you all are communicating with me every week, letting me know, hi, Moxie. Letting me know if your student is going to be absent, or if you're having trouble with a link, or if you need me to send you the lesson plan. That helps me do my job better. I would much rather you text me, message me at 9 p.m. or midnight, and me get back to you the next morning. Whenever, I would much rather you let me know that you need something than not at all. So definitely keep communicating with me. That helps me do my job better. Okay, and then things that we're still working on. So as expected, it's hard to keep students engaged for an hour or more on the tablet. I am not a great visually appealing YouTube video. Unfortunately, if I was, I think they would be locked in on me. So the engagement is something that we work with and it ebbs and flows. I try and give like movement breaks, brain breaks. Sometimes it slips my mind that they need that, but kids this age do need that very frequently. I've told them, and I will continue to tell them if they need a break or if they're feeling like, I've had one student who was like, I was getting like, are we almost done? Are we almost done? And I was like, what's going on, you guys? And they're like, someone said, Miss Aricast, it's just kind of boring sometimes. I was like, that's okay. Like, I get it, like be honest. And so I told them, and I will continue to tell them, if you need a break or if something like, be like, you are your best advocate, which is also something I should have added to things that are going well. They are like, I'm so proud of their ability to speak for themselves and to ask to go to breakout rooms and talk to their friends, or ask for Violet asked me if I could have students raise their hand instead of shout out answers one time. Like, that's so awesome to be able to speak for yourself. So I will encourage them, and I think you should absolutely encourage your students. If you need a break, absolutely ask for it. And Miss Aricast is more than happy to give you what you need. So that's kind of like a good and something we're working on. Completing asynchronous work, something we will be working on all year, I have no doubt. Sometimes it's hard to get it done, which is totally fine. I would just really encourage you to try your best to do as much of the asynchronous work as possible each day, because it's for their benefit. And that also goes with Dreambox and Vooks or Epic. They should be getting math and literacy practice, whether it be you have books at home for them to read or you read to them every day, or they're watching math videos. Math and literacy are obviously like our huge focuses right now. Second Zoom is a little hard. The afternoon Zoom sometimes is a little hard, which I'm sure you guys recognize. There were 2 weeks where we didn't have 2 Zooms a day because I was doing some assessment stuff. And so I think as we've gotten back into 2 Zooms a day, it's been a little hard for them to adjust. I get a lot of those, are we almost done yet? In the second Zoom, which is okay. But something we're still working on, and I'm trying to figure out how to kind of get them to power through that. Myself as a virtual teacher, I'm trying to figure out logistically small groups, which I have found that they really need for literacy and math. The students are just at very different places. And so being able to work with 4 or 5 of them in a leveled group, so all of these kids are having trouble with subtraction under 20, would be a lot more beneficial for your students than working with a group of 13 to 14 students who some of them get it, some of them don't. So in the next few weeks, it is my goal by January, by the time we come back, to have a schedule and a concrete idea of how I'm going to be doing small groups for both literacy and math. And I would like to warn you that might mean a little bit of trial and error, and it's going to mean less whole group time. So instead of having an hour of both literacy and math whole group, we might have 30 minutes. And then I spend the rest of that hour with a small group, which would be, as I said, I think more beneficial. So that's just something that I'm working towards, and I think will be a change come January. More of an emphasis on that small group time. And then materials distribution is just hard. I need to, the math, like I made a mistake of not getting the like tens blocks, the base 10 blocks and hundreds blocks and ones blocks out to you. And so that's something that I will be doing soon, because that's something they need. But I'm sure you know with on Padlet, sometimes I put like templates and stuff for like writing, especially. I think that's something I'm going to keep doing. I know not all of you have access to a printer, and if they're on Zoom with me, they can't be also on their iPad like drawing on a template. So I'm really trying to use where I need templates, basic ones that they can just kind of create on their own. But that's something that I'm also thinking about, something that that I'm still working on, that we are working on. Okay. So a few tips that I have kind of noticed. You are all really good about this, but having a consistent place where students Zoom with me every day is super beneficial. I've noticed sometimes students kind of are like walking around their house on their iPad on Zoom, and you just can't be engaged and fully paying attention when they're not sitting down. And so if I've noticed that when students have a consistent place where they are doing Zoom from, it helps them kind of focus in, and also to have the materials they need. So pretty consistently every day, they're going to need something to write with: pencil, pen, coloring, markers, and paper. Every day, they're probably going to need those things, and then some sort of counters. So I've given you all counters for math or counting cubes. And they need these probably every day. So if they're in a consistent place where they're doing Zoom from and they have access to paper, pencil, counters, that decreases the transition time. So I will say, okay, everyone needs their counters. And if it takes 5 minutes for, oh, I have to go get my counters, or teacher, I don't have my counters, and me trying to like troubleshoot with them, it takes time away from our lesson. So just being fully prepared with those few materials would be awesome and helpful for me as well as them. If they don't have their counters, I'm happy to bring you more. I've told them that you can go outside and collect rocks or sticks or Legos or Cheerios, really anything, to help them count up to 20 with, if not a little higher, but at least 20. And then as far as asynchronous work goes, try not to give them all the answers, which I know is really hard. And I totally encourage and would like you to like help them through things and teach them. But if I feel like there's a trend where most of the asynchronous work is like 100% right, every student 100% right, which is awesome, but just like being completely candid with you, it can't be true, you know, like students make mistakes and that's how they learn. And so I would really encourage you to let them do their work and help them where you can, but don't do their work for them. Because if I am getting work back that's saying everyone understands it, I'm going to keep moving on and going to the next thing and going to the next thing. And I don't want to lose your student. because I don't know that they aren't understanding. And hopefully with small groups, that'll help me a lot to be able to really see what students are getting and what they're not getting. But right now, I would really encourage you to help them with their asynchronous work, but don't do it for them. Mistakes are awesome. I love to see them make mistakes. And so like, help me a little bit with that. Because that's what we build on. Those mistakes are what we build on. Okay, so that's kind of the bulk of my spiel. Sorry, I've been talking at you. Just like really quickly, as far as curriculum, until Christmas break, right now for math, we are working on addition and subtraction within 20. And not just like, are they able to add and subtract, but understanding that subtraction is the opposite of addition. And when we add two numbers, we can switch those two numbers and still get the same answer. So 5 plus 9 is the same as 9 plus 5. That's not order of operations, if you can remember what that is. And then subtraction clearly doesn't follow the same rule. 9 minus 5 is not the same as 5 minus 9. So we're kind of working on those basic, like fundamental addition and subtraction operations as far as math. And we will continue to work on that until we are on break for winter. Writing, I just want them to enjoy writing. Unfortunately, kids can get to a point where they really hate writing and they want to avoid it at all costs. And that's what we're trying, that's what we don't want. So sometimes in my videos, if you listen or watch the videos with your students, I say like, if you want to challenge yourself and write another sentence, go for it. If one sentence is a challenge for you, do one sentence. And I truly mean that. Your student and you know what they are capable of. So don't force them to keep going if they're like, Mom, I actually can't keep writing. Because I don't want them to hate it. Like I said, mistakes are something that we like. Right now, they are spelling phonetically. They are spelling I can't even think of an example. Build, B-I-L-D. Like, that's better than you telling them exactly how to spell it. And also like spelling things phonetically for them helps them learn how to read. All of these things are intertwined. Having them, okay, you don't know how to spell this word, like try and sound it out. And then kind of correcting their errors as they're doing that. There's just so many things incorporated in writing. And I'm not looking for perfection. Right now we're working on just sentence formation, capitalization, punctuation, and their enjoyment of writing. And that'll probably change in January, February. We'll kind of go a little bit more in depth. That's writing. And then literacy, sounding things out and working on letter sounds and reading comprehension. So I do 2 read alouds per week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And during those read alouds, we're really just focusing on their engagement and their ability to follow the story and understand what's going on in that story. And then literacy, like the literacy lessons are more focused on learning new sounds and sounding out words. That's hopefully where the small groups are really going to come in on letter sounds and like blending words to pronounce them and read. That's what read is, or reading is. Okay, I know I just said a lot. That's all I really have. I would love to encourage you all to ask questions or if you have feedback or concerns or tips maybe if you feel like you found something that really works well with your kid for completing asynchronous work or getting on Zoom or being engaged, I'm sure some parents would love to hear it. Forum for you all.
I wanted to ask, is there a way we're going to get feedback on their assessments that you did on them?
Yeah. So I did the math and literacy assessments, and I can definitely give you a breakdown of how your student performed. Right now, we are not grading our students in a typical like report card A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4 way. I am taking what we like to call as anecdotal notes. So I have objectives of where students should be in first grade. And I'm taking little notes throughout the day, throughout the week, and using their asynchronous work to say, Dylan said this, Dylan did this, and it shows his mastery of this.
So like you're like the gold assessment, pretty
Exactly.
much, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know if you.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing, and we will be finishing up I will be finishing up our first assessment, hopefully by winter break. So after that, I'll be able to provide you all with reports of where your students are and where they should be by the end of the year, where we are trying to get them. Does that answer your
Yes.
question?
Because I was just going to ask about the gold assessment, but I figured I'd do it that way.
Okay,
But
yes. And if you would like to know, like the gold assessment, all the notes that I'm taking is different from the literacy and math assessments that I did with your students. The reason why we like doing the gold assessments is because it shows a really great picture of where your students started and where they've come. It's not just like a snapshot of where they were this day when they were hungry or tired or whatever. And so I can absolutely give you tell you how they performed on these assessments if you would like me to, but that's why we use the gold assessments.
And then one more thing. And so I know sometimes Dylan runs into like, oh, I don't know how to I forgot like what we just talked about. And then won't know how to do like the worksheet on math. So he'll be like, oh, well, let me see if somebody else has already turned it in. Is there a way to I don't know how to avoid him going to go look at it because I mean, they get submitted, but I don't know if there's any feedback, anybody can give me any tips on because he's done that before. I'm like, what? No, you can't do that. So, well, not that you can't do that, but it's like, no, you can't cheat. You can't see what somebody else wrote for that. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I don't know if there's any
Interesting. I haven't heard of. Has anyone else experienced a similar thing?
So I'm like, it doesn't happen like once or twice, but I'm like, no, only when you're ready to submit it does. So it's kind of like, so I don't know.
First, it's because she always wanted to be the first one to submit it. So she wants to see who else has done it first. So that's why she would.
I don't really know. I don't. Maybe I could hide people's posts, but I'm not sure. I can look into it.
Or maybe for that day or something, and then you can put it back on or at the end of the day or something. Just because he literally, because I was like, no, let's go work it through. And he was kind of frustrated. He's like, no, I just want to see what they wrote. Like what he wanted to say. I was like, no, you can't. Yeah. So it's like, and I can't you can't use the iPad. So yeah, it was like kind of at that moment, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
No, well, yeah. And I mean, it shows that he is very self-sufficient and he knows, he's like, I can go to Padlet and figure it out, which is better than not knowing, I guess. But okay, that's something I will think about.
Okay.
Any final thoughts?
I have a question. You had mentioned that for us on their corrections, I let her do her work and then I go back and check to see what needs to be corrected and then we submit it. So do you want to see the mistakes that she made before she submits it, or is that okay, me correcting her and then submitting it with the correct answer?
Yeah, do you, no, I know what you're talking about.
'Cause I let her work it out by herself and then I go back and help her in her knowing where her mistakes were, and then we submit it with the corrections that need to be made.
Yeah, so if you do make those corrections, I would love to see like the before and after.
Okay.
And if the corrections you make, unless it's like one of those like final drafts for writing where we're really working on like writing legibly and having it be really neat, it's totally fine if there's like marked out, right? So if you
Okay.
show her she made a mistake and she uses another color or even the same and just puts a cross through it and does it above, that's totally fine too. That shows me that she figured out that she made a mistake and has corrected her error.
Okay.
Okay. I'm happy to stay on and answer any other questions you need. I felt like this was really good for us to talk and me give you updates and us. I love the conversation between parents of like, this is what we're struggling with. Has anyone experienced this too? And so that was my biggest hope for this meeting. So I think I will continue offering this as kind of a like check-in for parents, ideally once a month. And I will still, I haven't sent out the newsletter for the next 2 weeks, but I will do that in the next day or so. Just give you a little snapshot of students learning. And as always, just reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
Have a great evening, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
On the assessments, do we need to request for the results of the assessment, or you're just gonna go ahead and send out the results to all the parents?
Yeah, are you talking about the gold assessments or are you talking about like the math and literacy ones that we did a few weeks ago?
Both.
Okay. So the gold assessments, which is more of like, that's like the semester long, this is their growth, I will definitely send to everyone. So I will send you a report of all of the things that I've specifically gathered for your daughter.
Okay.
As far as the math and literacy assessments we did a few weeks ago, those were assessments that I really did just to get a gauge on where your student was with math and reading. That has helped me a lot to figure out small groups. So if you would like that information, if you would like us to like debrief quickly about that, just let me know and I would be happy to do that. That's just not something I was planning on doing for all of my students.
Okay. If I can, I would like to do that then.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can put me down too.
Okay. Thank you all so much for coming. And I was worried it was just going to be me talking to myself tonight. So I appreciate it. And like, I really can't reiterate how lucky I am to have your students. Every day I go to work and I'm like, it could be worse. Everything going on right now could be a lot worse. I have really awesome students who make my job fun and I'm excited to go to work every day. So yes, thank you. And give your kids some loving because they're awesome. Okay, well, I'm happy to stay on if you have more personal questions, but I will see your students tomorrow morning, and we will keep in contact. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Emiliano.
Bye.
Bye.